Hello, welcome back to this will be episode 2 of the Locost-MX5 project. So I'll show you what we're doing today. Yeah, so what the plan is, this is the inside of the cowling. So we're going to run one box section steel all the way around this inner edge, which is the front, and the same along the back here, just to give both ends some strength, and then it also gives me something to mount the steering wheel and anything else I might have on the dashboard area of the car. So so the rear hoop goes from this little mark here over to the other side, and the same there, just the front one over, and then I'll probably have all this sheet aluminium on here and up from there as a bit of a firewall from the sort of cockpit area. So we'll see how that goes with the we'll have to work out how to bend this to the right size. This is the steel I got. It's a bit thinner wall than some of the other stuff. It's a bit smaller. Should be ideal for this job. So yeah, that's the plan. Right, so my plan is I'm going to cut the bottom corner of this off, because I want the steel to sit flat against this edge here, so I can bolt it through here in the end. Never tried to bend anything like this before, so we'll see. I've got this old brake disc which I'm planning on using to do the bend, because it's not far off the shape there. So we'll see how it goes. If all else fails, it'll just have to be straight bits, small angle, and then a straight bit. But I'd like to try and get the bend if I can. But we'll see how it goes. Right, so as you can see, I've made a bend. First time I've ever done anything like that. It turned out quite well. I'll show you how I did it in a minute. It's not the exact profile of the bend, but it's not too bad at all. So I can weld it across the bottom down here, and then it'll I could attach the cowl into it, which would be great. So yeah, I'll measure it now. Well, try to measure it as best I can. Try and replicate that on the opposite side, so that'll sit like that. And so we'll measure now where it needs to start the bend on that side, and then I'll show you how I bent it. Right, you'll have to excuse the unbelievably messy shed, but there we go. I'm sure everyone's the same. Right, so I've measured from this little mark here to that first one there is the straight bit of the bar, and the outside of the bend is that one when I'm going to start bending. So basically what I'm going to do is set that one in the vise, sort of roughly in the middle, and I'll put the brake disc, the stronger middle bit of the brake disc against here, which will be the start of my bend. I'll show you in a minute, and then basically just pull it around, and it pulled around really nice on that side. So we'll try and replicate it the first time. Right, I must add, I'm super pleased with myself with that one. That worked absolutely amazingly, as you can see. It's quite a nice gap all the way around. It's quite straight all the way down the back. About the gaps about the same both sides, which is absolutely great. It's nice and square all the way across. Couldn't have asked for better, really. So I will. What I can do now is I can mark a little bit further in than this. I'm going to cut all this fiberglass away from here, but I'll do that after I've made the bit that's further back. It goes along the inside of here. Do that after, just to keep a bit of strength in the shape in the fiberglass. But I'm super chuffed with that. That's great. So I've done the opposite side now. I don't want it to fit too tightly into here, because I want it to be able to get the fiberglass bit off quite easily, so left a bit of a gap, but it does sort of meet the full width, if you know what I mean, at the end. So I've just cut a little spacer bit here, so I'm just going to weld that tack that into place now, and then I will hopefully that'll keep all this in shape then, and then I'll put it on the car where it's supposed to be, tack that into place. That's on the see, that's what it's going to look like. So just tack welded it on there now, so it's strong enough for now. That's the shape. So I'll have aluminium in this area and up to here as like a firewall, so battery and other bits and bobs will fit along here, I imagine. So so yeah, starting to get there now. Starting to get there. So obviously steering wheel's going to be mounted in this area, so I will uncover take the cover off the MX5 here now, and then we'll have a look how the steering column mounts and so on. I'll dig it out of the shed round the corner as well. Right, so we've got a little bit further. I've cut the front of this cowling out now, because it will be all aluminium up here, so I didn't want to leave the fiberglass in there too close to the engine and so on, and I'd rather mount anything that needs to come through here through the aluminium rather than through this, so I can take this off at any time. I've trimmed around the top of the nose cone for the engine. There will need to be a little bulge or whatever it is there. Shouldn't be too bad. So this is the parts car. I've just been having a look on the inside here where the steering wheel mounts. It doesn't actually mount inside there. It mounts to the dash rail which goes across. I'll just show you that. Steering wheel rack mounts to this, which is inside your dash, inside the dash rail. Still got loads of wiring, parts of the alarm in that bit there as well. So yeah, this is the scrapyard over here. So all this will have to go. The only thing I need to get left now is the fuel tank, which is in there, and a couple of other small bits. Like I'll probably take the wiper motor off, just keep it in the shed somewhere, take the horns off because I know they work. So these are the components of the MX5 steering. You've got this lower shaft which goes into your rack, and I think that's where it goes through the bulkhead, where that thing is, just like a rubber seal on that, and then that joint there goes into the bottom of this shaft, which is on your steering wheel. So it's simple enough by the looks of it. I just need to make sure that this is supported along with that there, and that should be enough to do the steering. So hopefully that's quite simple. Pedals on the other hand, still not sure what's going to happen with them, so but I will let you know. Well, it's been quite a good day so far, so I'll show you what I'm up to next. As you can see, I've got the steering wheel roughly where I want it, slightly towards the middle. I'm just having got the clutch out of the MX5 here. That's the sort of the bracket that holds it, so it all comes as one. Obviously the slave cylinder, the master cylinder, sorry, sits on the front of that. So that can go as far to that side as I possibly can, which looks easy enough to do that one. This is the only one that's a little bit harder, it needs to be sat about that high up, which is fine. I can make a bracket to hold that. Sorry if you can't see very well, it's a bit dark in here. But the brake master cylinder sits on the front of here. I need to double check how big that is. I might just bolt it onto here so I can see, so I can work out where the steering steering rack's going to sit first. That's what I need to work out before I start putting these in, because these are a bit easier to work around the shaft. So I'm going to have to alter the throttle pedal a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. This just needs putting inwards, and the pedal there just needs taking the actual foot bit taken off the rod bit and welding back on at a slightly different angle, just to make it a bit easier. But that's the steering rack sort of in place there. Let's move this out of the way. So that's the joint there. So I'll have to just make sure just to hold this up and straight with the car, and then it goes down towards the rack down there. And obviously, because I'm using all MX5 running gear with PPF, everything's in the right sort of area. So I'll work out where the pedals go on the MX5 compared to the steering rack. Then I'll do something similar on this, and then in theory everything should fit, apart from where your feet go here is a lot narrower than the MX5, but I should be able to work around that. Right, so there's the top part of the rack mounted in now. So I cut the part of the old dash rail out of the old dashboard, just over there. See that I've cut that out. So that's the steering wheel in there now. Might look a little bit high, but I'm planning on getting a smaller wheel that's a bit more deep dish, to bring it closer towards me, sort of thing, when I'm in the car. But it's not very far off at all. So won't need to worry about these, because none of that'll be there. None of the indicators or lights, that'll all be on separate switches, I imagine. So yeah, I'm not worried about them. The ignition I'll probably leave down there. It's in a nice place out the way. So yeah, there we go. So I've tack welded that on there for now. Next job is to work out how to mount this bit. I'm thinking just a couple of bits box just up like that, just to hold it. Should be enough. Right, so that's it for today. Finally made two little bits of box section just to hold the bottom of that steering rack. So there we go. Now it's the first bit's in, so I've just got to unbolt this bit, and then that bit fits in, and that bit there. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Next time I think we'll tackle the pedals, get all them set up, make things to support them, and so on. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe to the channel and like this video, and hopefully I'll make episode 3 next week, hopefully, if everything goes well. I can only get here about once a week due to this situation that we're all in, because I only work around the corner, so when I'm in work I can come here and do a bit, so not travelling. So yeah, stay safe, see you next time.